Hey folks, it's Otaku Gunso and I am back again with another cooking video, and I'm going to show you how I make brownies. So first of all, we got this organic cocoa powder right here. Next up, we got the chocolate chips, allergy-friendly, semi-sweet because those are vegan. Then we have medjool dates because we're going to use those to sweeten it, and then we need a knife to pit those medjool dates, and then we have 100% whole wheat flour, compliments of Bob's Mill, and then some liquefied coconut oil, which I have melting next to the preheated oven on top of it, where the heat comes out of. Then we have a container, and then we have a food processor because I love making life easy. I don't know about you. And then the oven is preheated to 350 degrees because that's what we're going to use to get down. So next up, we're going to take this nice little container, and then we're going to take these nice medjool dates, and then we're going to take this nice little iridescent knife, and then we're just going to start slicing them. And we're slicing them because we want to get out the pits of the dates, because these dates are not pitted, and you can get pitted dates if you want, but I think they cost like $3 extra, and medjool dates kind of cost enough on their own, so it's kind of like, I could deal with the pits. I mean, it doesn't take that long to get them out, it's really not that big of a deal. But anyway, the dates are what's gonna sweeten this dish actually, because I don't use sugar. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't use sugar. Like, this thing actually comes out fairly sweet, but not overpoweringly sweet. Not like the stuff that you get in the box with all the chemicals and stuff like that. This is easy. It's only 4 ingredients. So, next up, we're gonna get some water. Some nice filtered water out of the nice little faucet filtration system going on right here. And we're gonna get 3 cups of water. Now, debatably, you could either get 3 cups of water or 4 cups of water. It depends. I think when I did the last time, I actually used 4 cups of water, and it was a little bit too watery, but I mean, it'll help with the consistency, but I guess you just have to add more flour. And one thing that I did also the last time was I actually boiled the water using my tea kettle, and that helped to kind of bring the medjool dates back to life, because you have to soak them for 20 minutes to kind of bring them back to life, bring, you know, the nice soft suppleness of them back to life, you know, because you got to put them in the food processor. So yeah, we're putting them in the food processor right now, and look how soft they look. Look how soft and supple that they look, you know, and they're so squishy and soft and moist and pretty much everything. But yeah, like the medjool dates, they're coming along pretty well. And yeah, just scooping them out just takes a little bit of time because you gotta try to get it out without the water. And then we're gonna take 1 cup of the 100% whole wheat flour, and we're gonna dump that in there. And we're gonna try to evenly distribute it, which is really hard. Usually when I put stuff in the food processor, I like to evenly distribute it just to ensure that everything gets mixed up and stuff like that. And that's why it takes me so long to get stuff inside the food processor, which I'm trying to avoid getting it in the middle, which I'm kind of failing at a little bit here, because it looks like I got some in the middle on the piece. Aw, come on. Oh, okay. I cleaned it up, okay? I cleaned it up. So, next up, we're going to take some of that cocoa powder, and we're going to get 1/4 of a cup of the cocoa powder. And we're going to put that in there. And we're going to evenly distribute it, just like we did with the flour, which you don't need to use that much of the cocoa powder, because most of what's gonna get it the chocolatey type flavor is the chocolate chips. Which next up, we're going to add the organic, allergy-friendly, semi-sweet chocolate chips, which again, the allergy-friendly edition is also vegan. So we're keeping it vegan. We're keeping it vegan around here, although you could pretty much use whichever one you want, and we're just going to dump the whole thing in there. We're just going to dump the whole thing. We're using all the dates, we're using the whole pound of dates, and we're using the whole thing of the chocolate chips. We're just dumping everything in there right now. Then I gotta pull out the funnel. I'm sorry, I am not confident in my ability to be able to pour this liquid in there from the date water without making a mess. So I'm going to enlist the help of the funnel right now because that is the safest course of method. And of course I gotta plug it in. I gotta plug it in first. And then I'm just gonna slowly add the recycled date water into the food processor while it is spinning and spinning and spinning, and yeah, ooh, it's shaking. Oh, my hand is shaking. Oh no. Shaking so much. But let's take a look. Okay, I don't know why that's not staying down. Kind of like pushed up a little bit. Oh man, I disapprove. Oh well, let's mix it up a little bit more. Maybe I'll get a better consistency. Okay, this is like, I probably should have used the 4 cups of water. Either that or I should have just boiled the water. Which, again, I'm telling you what I did the last time. And you could do that or you could do what I'm doing now. Next up, we're going to take this lovely little Rubberware and we're going to spray it with the coconut oil. Which, yeah, liquefied coconut oil for the win. And we're just going to dab that in there with the paper towel, which I don't know why I did with the paper towel, because the paper towel is basically going to wipe it up. I probably should use my hand, but anyway, we're going to go in with a nice iridescent ladle, because again, we love an iridescent life right now. We have iridescent slotted spoon, iridescent ladle, iridescent spoons, and then an iridescent surprise at the end, because we're just going all extra like that right now. I'm literally making this more than what it needs to be. It's so funny. But anyway, Rubberware, or I call it Rubberware, but it's actually silicone. But yeah, Rubberware is where you don't have to put it, like you don't have to use oil when you use these things. But, you know, sometimes it does stick a little bit. So that's why I used a little bit of oil, and that's why I have a spray thing, so that I can control the amount of oil that I use, because I'm sensitive to oil and I don't want a stomachache. But anyway, so yeah, next up, we're going to use these little poop swirl shapes, because I literally have the maturity level of a 5-year-old at this point, and yes, we're going to make some poop swirl brownies right now. Oh gosh, I literally have no life. Now, this mold that I used of the Poop Swirl Rubberware, I actually used that once before without any oil, and that actually got stuck. So you actually have to use oil for that one, because if you don't, they're gonna get stuck, and that's gonna suck, and you're not gonna want that. But anyway, so we have nice Poop Swirl brownies that are gonna go into the oven, and they're gonna come out so good, and then they're gonna have smiley faces on them. Which, again, I have too many problems. So yeah, we're just gonna take them and stuff them into the oven, and we're gonna make sure to put them in the back of the oven, because like John Joseph said, that's where everything gets cooked. And I actually already put the other 2 in there, the other 2 Rubberware molds inside, and I don't know why I didn't tape that part, but anyway, we're gonna let this cook for an hour at 350 degrees. And let's take a look at how they look after an hour. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh, they look so wonderful. Wow, they're definitely done. And then we have my nice little red gloves there, because we're just pumping all kind of Rubberware at this point. We're going with the Rubberware. That's what we're gonna call it. We're not even gonna call it silicone anymore. We're just gonna call it Rubberware. Oh gosh, this is too funny. And yeah, I'm gonna give a nice little close-up of how they look. Look at that. Oh wow, they look amazing. Now I'm just gonna let them cool off, and hopefully by then I can pop them out without hurting myself or getting burnt, because we don't love burns. But anyway, last up we have how they look on my nice little iridescent plate. And yeah, that is the brownies, the Poop Swirl brownies, and the muffin type brownies, or whatever, I don't know. See, look at that, it has a smiley face, it's smiling at me, look at that. And this is a little bit soft, but you know, probably could have let it cool down a little bit more. But anyway, that is how I make brownies. 4 ingredients, all vegan. And until next time, folks, later.